Hey, I want to talk about the 4-time rule today and my experience with the 4-time rule. Well, the 4-time rule is a concept. Some people say the 4-corner rule. Now they're about the same, but not quite. Anyway, the 4-corner rule, or the 4-time rule, if you do something 4 times, like most people that apply for Social Security, you have to appeal it 4 times before you get it. I mean, it's just a common, a lot of people know that applied for Social Security. So 4 times, it's an ancient principle. And the court used this all the time in probate. Whatever they do, they publish it in the newspaper for 4 printings. Then it can't be appealed even by the highest court. So doing things like in the newspaper, like claiming the baby 4 times, claiming your birth announcement 4 times even though you're older, it takes power away from the system, because when the birth announcement was put in the newspaper for your birth or your children's birth, nobody claimed the child. So they accepted the liability and ownership of every one of us, for example. But there's another part of the 4-time rule. If you say something in court 4 times that the court can't handle, like I'm a real man or woman, I'm not guilty, you're not a corporation, you do these things 4 times. Whatever it is you do 4 times can't be appealed. And there's various stages of the court that you could do something 4 times. And you're speaking that superpower when you do it. Because once you've done something 4 times, they basically have to move on. Now, if they can't move on, then the case gets dismissed. You see the power of the basic, simple things? It's called the 4-time rule. Now, the cousin to that is the 4-corner rule. Now, a lot of people will put the little 4-corner things around their zip code because zip code gives up jurisdiction. If you accept it through the mail, a higher jurisdiction than the court, and the zip code's not boxed in, you give them power over you. You give them jurisdiction over you. I mean, it's absolutely insane. So something is boxed in on any of those government documents whatsoever, it's invisible. The boxing part, the 4-corner boxing part, makes whatever is there invisible. For example, I had a friend that was a notary, and the notary's filling out the title and made a mistake in her section. And she went over to the BMV and said, "Girls, I'm a notary, I was filling out this title, and I made a mistake in my section of the title." And they said, "Oh, just put the little bracket around it, the 4 corners around it, and we can't see it once you do that, and you're perfectly fine." So what a discovery. The people at the License Bureau told the lady, because they all work together. They're all women. They will help each other. And they took the title. They did a new title for the next person that purchased it. So these are just some little tidbits. They're not legal advice, of course. They're just for information purposes only. But the thing to look for is boxes on their documents. Anything you might receive is invisible, and it has 0 weight to it. It's part of the fraud, if you will. The fraud is everywhere. In most cases, in almost all cases, if writing is black, it's fraud. So the mechanisms that's used by the system is the type of paper, the color of ink, the boxes around everything. If something's not in a box, then they can see it. If it's in a box, like say your signature is in a box, it's really invisible. What's happening is the liability isn't attaching to the right party. You believe you signed it, that you're liable and that you have to accomplish what it says on the document, but you're being tricked by the four-corner rule, the four-time rule. You have advantages and they have advantages depending on if you understand. My goal today is to get you to research those terms. Four-corner rule, four-time rule. Do research. Don't take this as legal advice. This is information purposes only. I appreciate you watching the video. I'm going to try to keep these short. Please subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. My number will be listed below the video. We'll talk to you soon.